Hey everyone, I'm Sarah, and today in my crochet stream, I'm actually going to teach some more knitting. Last week we learned, well, actually 2 weeks ago, because last week I had to cancel all my classes, but the week before we learned the basic knit stitch and how to cast on and cast off or bind off. And so this week is going to be a relatively short session because we are just going to be learning the purl stitch, which is sort of the opposite of the knit stitch. And I've got an example here, and you'll see. Okay, this isn't like the best example. Like I made this really quickly last night, but this is a purl stitch. This is a knit stitch, and you can see that they don't look all that different. However, the key to the purl and the knit stitch is because they're opposite. If you do knit one, purl one, over and over again, this is what you get. You get like kind of the bumps on this side, and then it looks like flat rows on this side. And this is called stockinette, and I'll be learning that. I'll be teaching that to you next week. But that's why we need to learn the purl stitch, so that you can learn the opposite. Hey Flex, welcome. Thank you for joining. So just so you know, today is going to be a relatively short stream, but I will be having my drawing stream tonight as normal. But we are learning the purl stitch. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to go ahead and do a couple housekeeping things. First of all, you'll notice that up here in the right hand corner, top right corner, is my lovely photo and screen name Faye Sarah, and it keeps flashing green. That is because I am live on Discord as well, and you can also join me and be live with me. This is my Discord server name, or you can type !Discord. There we go. Thank you, Flex, in the chat. Or you can click on my name and go to About and the About tab, and there should be a Discord button there. So those are the ways that you can get to my Discord. And let me just show you what that looks like and what's going on in Discord. All right, so when you come over here, you'll notice when you get into it, you'll notice your channels here. Crochet Projects is the one where you would post any projects that you want, or where we discuss projects. Just chatting would be where I post like when my next stream is going to be, things like that. And then stream chat here is where you actually will, you click on that to join us. Now, if you want to look at the class calendar, this is a link to the calendar. You can also find that on my Twitch page. So, all right. That was the business that I needed to get out of the way. And now we can go ahead and start the stitching. All right, so I've got my yarn. Now, just a reminder, I am using I'm using 5mm knitting needles, and I'm using a size 4 yarn. Now, if you look on the back, and when you look at the label, it will tell you, see, this is a size 4, and it tells you what size knitting needles to use. So this is a US 8, which is 5mm, because of course the US has to do everything different when it comes to sizes and measurements. Why would they do it the same? We've got to be different. So there you go. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the yarn. I always take it out of the middle. Like, so you just have to sometimes dig in there and pull it out, but this is one I've been using for a while. And we're going to make a slip knot. Now, just a reminder of making a slip knot is you make a loop. So you just, cross it over itself. Now, whichever side is on the top, so this side's on the top, you're going to make another little loop and go underneath that first loop you made. I just kind of hook my finger in that. Hook my finger in that. And then you're going to pull the tail, which is the little piece that's left over, and the working yarn, which is what's coming from the yarn, and just pull all of those together. So pull the two tails and the loop separate from each other. And that will give you your starting slip knot. Flex said, you're happy because you made a shading breakthrough with the art, now translating it to colored pencils. Ooh, that's cool. Well, I can't wait. Flux is one of our regulars, and he also posts his artwork in ArtCrit, which I didn't show you that because that will be a part of my drawing class tonight. But that is a great place to go and see some wonderful art, such as Flex's art. So I'm very excited to hear that you made a shading breakthrough, and I can't wait to see the results. Okay, so we've got our loop. We're going to go ahead and put it on, and I'm going to pull it somewhat tight, but not too tight, just to show you. You want there to be a little bit of a give there. You don't want it to be absolutely too tight. Then what you're going to take the yarn and you just twist it to make another little loop, and then slide that loop on. Just kind of pull it. I don't pull it too tight, just loosely, just enough so it goes up to meet it. So I'm going to twist, slip it on, and then pull. This is called casting on, and it's the exact same as what we did with knitting. Okay, and I'm just going to cast 10 on. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, twist, slip it on. Oops, I lost that one. Twist, slip it on. 6, 7, 8, 9, and notice how slow I'm pulling that. 10. You don't need to be fast about it. You want them to be even, and so that you've got this row here. Not much to show at the moment. Basically, been drawing spheres, cubes, and more amorphous 3D blobs and shading them again and again and again and again. Practice. That is what makes it happen. So that's great. That's good that you're practicing that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to twist it around and just turn it so that it's going to be in our left hand. Now, just to give you a heads up, I am teaching right-handed knitting and crochet in my class because I am right-handed. If you are left-handed, then you would do it just exactly the opposite. By the way, I don't know if I told anybody, but I do now have closed captioning available on my stream. So there should be a new icon down at the bottom that says CC that you can turn on if you want to see me speaking. I don't know how accurate it is yet. I haven't seen that, but I'm watching it go across the bottom of my screen, and it seems to be pretty accurate. So I think that's excellent because I am a very big fan of accessibility. Okay, so closed captioning, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I've got. All right, so I'm going to take this. Now, with knitting, we came in from the left side of the stitch, and we went front to back, like that. With purl, we're going to come from the right side of the stitch, and we're going to go back to front, like that, and it's going to cross over the front. The other difference is that before, when we were knitting, our yarn was coming from behind, so, you know, we'd put our needle in, we loop around, and then we pull it through, right? Well, this time, it's going to be in the front, and that's how you tell where you are. Like if you're doing that stockinette stitch that I told you about earlier, you tell where you are because it's got to be in the front if you're doing a purl stitch. So we're going to come in from the right back to front and cross it. Now we're going to take our yarn, we're going to cross over going front to back and pull it all the way around so that it makes a nice loop. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go under, and you're sliding the needle like around the other needle and push through. And what that does is that creates a loop. Then you're going to just slide this and slide it off. And that's it. So we're going to come back around. So we come in, loop around, and remember, bring it all the way to the front. Slide our needle to the back and then pull it off. So now we've got 2 loops transferred. So come in from the right or back to front if you want to think about it like that. Loop it around. You're going to pull your needle like, I mean, it's touching. It is, my needles are touching. You pull your needle against the other needle and just like slide it on around. And then you pull that little loop off. We're going to do this a few times. Oops. And it can get a little bit tight, so you just have to be careful not to let it get too tight. You can loosen it up just a bit because it's just pulling from the previous, this little string here, that's what it's pulling from. You posted some of your practice pages. Great. I can't wait to see them. We can take a look at those after. So I'm going under and pulling it off. And I always try to hold on to the stitches on the left just because that way more than one of them doesn't slip off. Oops. Oh, I see. They were supposed to be more than practice, but they ended up being practice. Hey, I totally get that. That happens to me quite often where it was meant to be my original work, and then I'm like, oh, well, that ended up being practice. Okay. I totally get that. All right, so now we've got a row here, and we're going to switch to the other hand. So we're switching back to the left hand. You always want your row to be at the bottom, kind of, or facing to the right a little bit. And remember, now with purl, I've found that the tail gets in the way more, so I try to hold it back as much as I can with my hand so it doesn't get in the way. So
hello.
Oh, hi Molly, welcome.
I've been here for a while. I just wasn't able to send anything, and then I figured out I was on mute.
Ah, yes, that will make it so that you're not heard. Well, welcome, Molly. Molly's had a little bit of a vacation. She's coming back from that. So what we're learning is the purl stitch. I don't know how long you've been on, but so we're just doing the exact same thing. We're coming from the right side back to front. Our yarn is in the front. We're going to wrap around, and then we're going to pull through and under. And that's it. Purl stitch is pretty easy. I would venture to say it's maybe even a little easier to do than knit stitch, in my opinion.
Wow. Well, I'm not doing knitting today.
Yes.
But I am watching.
Cool. Well, I knew you weren't going to be. I told your mom that if you wanted to watch, you could, but I knew you weren't going to be doing the knitting. I would say, in my opinion, I think that crochet is easier especially for kids. I learned to crochet when I was 11. And I think that it's, I just think it's a little bit easier to grasp and do, especially because knitting, I mean, you guys can see, this is my little sample, but look how raggedy that looks. Whereas my knitting stuff, even right away, looked better than this. You know, like knitting is just, it takes so much practice, I think, to make it look good. And I haven't knit in years. Haven't knitted in years. Haven't used correct grammar in years. So Molly, tell us about your vacation. What did you do?
Well, I went to Anaruby Falls.
Ooh, where is
which
that?
Well, I wasn't sure where it was, but it was really pretty. We went up a 0.5 mile hike to get to the waterfalls. There were 2 of them. They were huge. And then after that, in Helen, we passed through a little German town.
Ooh, that's cool. Did you stop?
And then we came back there. But we went to Town Ball, which is the highest point in Georgia. It was on a mountain, so we did that. We went back to the German town. We went to the candy shop.
Ooh, candy shops are fun.
Mhm.
Was it like really cool? Like they had old-fashioned candy stuff too?
They had lots of. They had fudge. They had truffles.
What?
They had chocolates.
That sounds
But
pretty amazing.
we had Mexican the first day we went there for dinner.
Yeah.
And then we've done a lot of things. We did some things. And then we went to my mom's friend's house. And we saw her kittens.
Cool.
Which was really fun. And then we came home.
How many kittens does she have?
She fosters kittens.
Oh, okay.
So, and she got a new one today.
What? That's awesome. What did the new kitten look like?
I don't know how to explain it. He was just really cute. He was about 10 to 12 days old.
Oh, 10 to 12 days old is really young. Does she have to like bottle feed him or anything?
Actually, no. He goes with a mama cat because she has mama cats with the babies.
Oh, okay, I see. So he's still nursing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after 6 weeks of nursing, then he can start eating regular cat food.
Yeah, like little kitten food or something.
Very
cool. Was he just like super precious? How tiny he was?
Yeah, I held him for a little bit, but then he had fleas, so we had to give him a bath.
Yeah. Kittens don't fight you as much as cats with baths. They don't know to be afraid of water yet.
Yes, and he was the loudest kitten there.
Yeah.
Like you could hear him from the room we were staying in, which was on the other side of the house.
Wow. That is pretty loud. Yeah, kittens, and they're loud, but it's a different kind of loud because they mew. Mew, mew. I can't even go that high, like as high as they can go, but it's a mewing rather than a meowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we came home, and then now I'm here after I cleaned Buddy's cage.
Cool. Flex says, I want a kitten and a waterfall now after eating bratwurst and sauerkraut. That's funny. He took everything from your story and put it together. That's pretty cool.
So.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
And then I'm going to give Buddy a bath after I get off.
Tell everyone who Buddy is.
So Buddy's my pet guinea pig. I got him on my birthday. It was really fun. And, well, since we were gone, he's gotten much fatter.
He has.
Like, I could barely pick him up when I came to
Maybe he's not getting enough exercise.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't want to.
Right.
And he can't even fit in his little harness. It's too big. And he doesn't like going in his little plastic ball unless I make him.
Oh, Flex says his sister had 2 guinea pigs that they make great pets. Yeah, this one, he is very cute, but he is a chunky monkey. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just amazed how big he's gotten. I had to put him in that bathtub, and then when I got him back up, wow. And he doesn't run, like, when you hold him in the air, he doesn't run to his cage in the air anymore. So he's made progress on that.
Well, that's good. Well, where he's just sitting there in midair, just trying to run.
He was trying to run while I was holding him.
Huh?
But I don't let him. The reason why he was still doing it is because I wouldn't let him run in the air.
Yeah.
Because he would always hit his head on the top of the cage.
Ooh. That's not great.
But it never hurt him.
Yeah.
It's just he didn't like it when he hit his head. But that's what I've done in the last
several days.
5 days.
Yeah. Well, I have been, and this is part of why I canceled last week. I have been sick. I had I had an ear infection. You knew about that, Molly.
Mm-hmm.
But I had one, and I don't know what happened, but I got a different kind of ear infection. So I had 2 different kinds of ear infections in both ears. I had 1 ear infection in both ears and 1 ear infection just in my right ear, like a different kind. And so I'm on 2 different kinds of antibiotics right now. One is in the form of drops, and one is like oral, like regular, oral antibiotics. And I've just been in pain. I've been really tired, and it has not been great. So
that doesn't sound very fun.
Nope, not at all. I have not been a happy camper for probably the whole 5 days, actually, that you've been gone. Okay, Flex said his sister's rabbit used to tease cats by doing mini jumps that attracted the cat's hunting instinct and drove them crazy. He was safe behind the big homemade rabbit run. That's funny. So he'd jump to try to make the cats want to go after him, but they couldn't do anything about it. That's pretty funny. All right, so I've got a little, I've just been kind of going along here while we were talking. And I've got a little patch now. Now, if I were making a scarf or something, I would just keep going. I'd just keep on trucking. But I'm going to go ahead and remind you, I'm going to show you how to... Oh, she was safe behind a big run. I'm going to remind you how to do the casting off or the binding off. Okay, so we're going to still do the purl stitch. And you can do a knit stitch here if you want, because we're casting off, so it almost doesn't matter. But I'm going to continue doing the purl stitch. And I didn't have this brought to the front, so remember that you bring that to the front. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and purl 2. I'm going to do that first. All right, so I've got 2 on there. Now, I like to do this with my fingers because I feel like I have more control over it, but you actually lift up the one on the right over the one on the left and then drop it off so that the one on the left is the only one still left on there. All right, and then you purl 1 more. So it gives you 2 again. Okay, so I've got 2 again, so I'm going to take this one on the right. I'm going to lift it over the one on the left, and I just use my thumbnail to kind of pull that through and drop it off the end. And then I've got 1 left. And I purl another one. Same thing. Lift up and over. Drop it off. Purl another one. Yeah, on the whole, unfortunately, and I hate it because it was your mom's birthday weekend, but this was probably one of the worst weekends I've ever had. And it stunk because I wanted to be a lot more fun and stuff for your mom. purl another one. We're just going to keep going all the way till we get to the end.
Okay, so the reason why I wasn't talking is because I'm muting myself while I'm eating cake.
Oh, there's cake left?
Oh, I made a new cake.
You made another one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
But
You're like a cake
so I'll be
making...
muted.
Okay. You're a cake making machine.
Yep.
Now, notice that I keep hitting the table here, which is why I was trying to like put some kind of padding or something underneath it. But normally I'd be holding this over my lap, and so it wouldn't do that. You would just hear like the little clicky clicky sound. All right, so that was our last one. We're going to do two things. We're going to hook this last one over. Oops. Come on now. Hook the last one over. And then I just pull this like pretty high. We're going to snip some off the end. And we're just going to, I just pulled my loop up, and we're just going to pull this through the loop and make a knot like that. Okay, now I ended on the same side. So here's the, now normally you could use a crochet needle, hook rather, and weave this in and out. But for the purposes of, since I've already gone over that in many, many streams before, I'm not going to bore you with that. Instead, I'll just trim them because this is just a little sample piece. Now, it's important to do samples. I only did, let's see how many rows I did. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You go up in a zigzag. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I did 8 rows. If you look at, let's see. If you look at the instructions, they will tell you, see how this says 4 by 4 inches or 10 by 10 centimeters? Okay, then it says 10S 24R. And what that means is that if you do, hold on, that, it's possible that doesn't say 10. That says 18. Ha! 18S, this is my eyesight's that bad. So 18 stitches, 24 rows. Now we just did 10 stitches and 8 rows, but if you do 18 stitches and 24 rows, you should get a 4 inch by 4 inch or 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter sample using 5 millimeter needles with this yarn. So that is how you would get a sample size and how you will know exactly what it's supposed to look like. So we didn't do that big of a sample. I just did a little one here. But this shows you. Sorry, my camera's readjusting since I had that close. So you can see my little samples. Okay. That's actually it for today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask either in the stream chat or in or voice, or you can always ask questions later on the Discord in just chatting. But while we are here, I would like to go ahead and take a look at Flux's practice that wasn't originally intended to be practice. Okay. So if you go to Art Crit, that's where he posted them. Wow. Flux, that's excellent shading. I know you said that you ended up thinking that this was more practice, but to be perfectly honest, I think this looks great. I mean, I like your composition and everything. Like how this one flower here like the petal goes behind the other. Now, are these made up, or did you use flowers? Like, did you use like a base flower to look at? Let's look at the other one. They're made up. Wow. You would not know it I mean, it looks like nature. This one probably looks a little funky. I like it though. It looks almost like clovers or something. I hear your mom's phone.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm
fun.
on mute, so I can. It does look really good.
Yeah, it does. These are excellent. Man, I can't get over some of the shading in these. Like the shading in this right here is really intense. Yeah, good job. Absolutely.
So you see the top row,
The top row in this? Uh-huh.
like the row under it, the first flower. That's the one I like the best.
This is your favorite?
No, go down. Over that one.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too. I think that one, it looks very detailed.
Looks like a rose.
I think it looks, well, I'm not very good with flowers, so like flower identification. Yeah, it's very cool. Good job, Flex. Excellent work. So that's to everybody else. If you want to post your own artwork or you want to just share with everyone, you know, something you've been working on. I mean, practice stuff is great too. It doesn't have to be necessarily even a finished piece, although I would consider these finished for sure. These are excellent. This one probably looks a little bit more like practice than this one. This one looks like intentional. But anyway, you can come post it on ArtCrit and join us. All right. So that was it for knitting. Like I said, this wasn't a very long stream today. I just wanted to show you guys how to do the purl stitch because next week is, like I said, is when we're going to do stockinette. And stockinette stitch is really cool. I mean, this is what you think of, you know, where it kind of curls up on the ends, like that you think of like a traditional knit scarf is stockinette, where it, you know, it's like this flat on one side and like the little bubbles on the other. So we will learn that next week, and we're also, in addition to that, going to be learning ribbing. And I don't know if you're thinking about ribbing. Ribbing is like when you see sweaters that have like what looks like stripes in them. So how long? Till I'm back, so you don't have to work it out. Okay, let's see. What time is it now? It is 2:30. Man, that was only a 30-minute stream. I will be back at 7. So that is 4.5 hours. So 4.5 hours from now. And I will be doing my drawing class tonight. We are going to be doing something very simple. It's going to be cherries. It's on the branch. Let's see. I haven't posted yet, but when I do post, let's see. I can go ahead and get that posted actually. Why not? You know, I mean, I'm here. I'm talking to you guys. There's no reason why I couldn't go ahead and post that. Excellent. Thanks for letting me know that you might be late. So what I do, I teach, currently teach crochet, drawing, and painting. I'm going to start phasing out my crochet stream just because it's during the day, and I will hopefully be getting a job soon, and so I'll be working during the day. Oh, you're saying it might be too late for you. Okay. Yeah, that's possible. Okay. Well, if you're able to, that would be excellent. You know, I would love for you to be there.
I will be.
You'll be there, Molly?
I definitely will, because this is the thing we're doing. I already know. It seems really easy.
Okay, so these are called, oops, what's today? Today is the 25th. What is that beeping?
Oh, my mom and my brother are playing with these laser tag things.
Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and just show you. I went ahead and posted the reference photo for this afternoon. And if you go under reference photos, I'm going to post it for the day. And this is what we're going to be drawing tonight. So these are wild cherries. And this is what we'll be painting, or drawing rather. So you will need a colored pencil of some kind, probably like a brown, and then just a regular number 2 pencil, or a pencil set if you have it. And that's going to be tonight. So that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I really appreciate you guys coming. I know my stream was pretty short today. Next week's may be a little bit longer since I'm going to be doing more than one thing. But yep, cheers, Flux. Thank you for joining me. And hopefully I'll see you tonight. But if not, I will see you next time. Thank you, everyone.